Hi, my fourth grade friends, and welcome to lesson 29, where we're going to be exploring problems about length, liquid volume, mass, and weight. Sounds way scarier than it is. We're going to work through it together. We are starting today, and we will be ending Friday, okay? So today we're going to be doing a couple of pages together. We're going to be doing 601, 602, 603. And then we're also going to be doing pages 605 and 606 today. So we're combining a little bit today, but that's okay. We're going to rock through it like always. And then on your own, you're going to be doing page 608, okay? So we're going to jump right on in. We're also going to do some vocabulary today, and we will see from there. So starting off, we have Julia. So Julia is buying a spool with 12 yards of wire. The students in her jewelry making class use 4 yards, 2 feet of the wire for one project and 7 feet of the wire for another. How many feet of wire does Julia have left? So, first off, she's buying 12 yards of wire, right? And the students in her jewelry making class use 4 yards, 2 feet for one project and 7 feet of wire for another. And then we need to figure out how much Julia has left. Not how much they used, how much she has left. So first things first, we need a conversion. So we need to understand that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, okay? So what we're gonna do is convert all of our yards into feet so it's easier to work with. We can't compare things when they have different units, so we gotta make sure they're all on the same unit. So excuse me, so we have to change 12 yards into feet. So 12 yards times 3 is equal to 36 feet. So this is our start value. We have 36 feet of wire, okay? Now, her jewelry making class uses 4 yards plus 2 feet. So what we got to do is convert our 4 yards into feet by multiplying 4 yards by our 3 and then adding the 2 feet, okay? So 4 times 3 is 12 feet plus 2 feet. So 12 plus 2 is 14 feet, and this is project 1, okay? So 14 feet being used. Remember, she starts with 36. So then project 2, we don't need to do any converting because it's already in feet for us. So project number 2, she uses 7 feet. So now that we have everything put into feet, we need to add these 2 lengths from the projects, and then once we figure out that total of wire used, we can then subtract it from the 12 yards or 36 feet that she started with. So 14 feet from project 1 plus 7 feet from project 2. 7 plus 4 is 11. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So that means 21 feet of wire was used in their jewelry making. So now we can take our start value of 36 feet and subtract the used wire to find out that they have 15 feet left. Now, we can also, and then actually we're going to keep it at feet because it's asking for feet. I was going to say we could convert it back into yards, but it's asking for feet, so we're going to keep it here. So that means they have 15 feet of yard. Holy moly. 15 feet of wire left over. So Julia has 15 feet of wire left. So remember, friends, we're still working with those multi-step problems, just like last week. So if you have any questions on how to go about a step, or if you have problems with the converting, or if you just want a walkthrough of a problem similar to this, please join the Google Meet. If not, we are going to continue on and look at some strategies we could have used in addition to what we already did here, okay? So if you need a pause here to write, feel free. You're more than welcome to. If you are ready, we're going to move on along to other strategies, okay? So explain how to find how many feet of wire Julia has left. Well, all we're going to do here is put into words what we did on this page, okay? So whatever I write, you write. And this is how we went about figuring this out. So we can convert the amount of wire on the spool and the amount of wire used into feet. Then subtract the number of feet of wire used for both projects from the number of feet on the spool. And the equation or expression to match that is 36 feet minus 14 feet minus 7 feet is equal to 15 feet left over. Okay? So that's, again, just putting into words what we did on the previous page, word for word, okay? But this is another way we could have gone about this. So we're using a different example here, but we could have used a bar model to do this, and we're going to practice with this new problem, okay? So Martin has 8 yards of twine. He uses 2 yards, 1 foot for one project and 4 feet for another project. How many feet of twine does Martin have left? So the bar model shows the information in the problem. We have to convert yards to feet to complete it. So 8 yards is the same as 24 feet, right? Because 8 times 3 is 24. And 2 yards and 1 foot is the same as 7 feet, because 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 more foot is 7, okay? So 8 yards is equal to 24 feet. So now we know 7 plus 4 is 11, right? So if we have 11 feet here plus an unknown feet, and we know it has to all equal 24 feet, right? So we can do 7 plus 4 to help us figure out how much he uses on these 2 projects. So he using the bar model, write an expression to represent the number of feet he uses for both projects. That's where I got my 7 and my 4 from, okay? So then we can write and solve an equation to find the number of feet of twine Martin has left. So we could do the T feet, so T is equal to the 24 feet we have all together minus the 7 plus 4 that we already used on projects, right? So 7 plus 4 we know is 11. Take away 24. Whatever we get there will be our length of twine left over. So 24 take away 11 is 13. So T is equal to 13 feet. So how much feet of twine does Martin have left? 13 feet, okay? So then, number 3. How does the bar model show what operations to use while solving the problem? I want you to tell me what operation is this bar model telling you to do to help you solve this problem, okay? Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication? What are we doing here in this bar model to solve this problem? So I want you to pause here and tell me in the Google Meet what your thinking is, okay? Once you do that and you have everything filled in for 602, we're gonna move on to 603, which you all probably guessed it, is our vocabulary page, okay? So, our vocabulary phrase today is units of length. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna write a bunch of examples of units of length, because we have a bunch of different ways we can talk about length. So one example is 1 foot or 1 ruler, right? We have 12-inch rulers that are equal to 1 foot. So this is my handy dandy ruler, and this is equal, I'm gonna write some lines to make it look like a ruler. Obviously it's not even close to being accurate, right? Because Miss Dion's drawing it, we know how I draw. But this, we're gonna call it equal to 1 foot. That's the beauty of math. You can draw a picture and then say what it's equal to, and they have to believe you. So, ruler, 1 foot. Can also look at one little sliver and say that this is 1 inch, okay? So this is 1 foot, this is 1 inch. So this is one little piece of this ruler, okay? We can also use metric units of length. So not just inches and feet, but the metric units of length. Which are centimeters, meters, and kilometers. We can also use customary units of length, which are inches, feet, and yards. An example would be 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, and then 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, like we used previously, right? So those are some conversions for our customary units. We can also use conversions like this. So 1 kilometer, is equal to 1,000 meters, okay? And another way we can think of conversions is in a sentence form. So there are 100 centimeters, cm just stands for centimeters, in 1 meter, okay? And then, so thinking of it like this way, right, 2 different units you could use to measure the following. Your finger is super tiny, right, compared to a desk or your classroom. So you'd probably use inch or centimeter for your finger. It's tiny, you don't need that big of a unit of measure. Now your desk, still kind of small compared to your classroom, but it is larger than your finger, so you'd probably use more like feet, or we could even use centimeters there as well. However, the length of your classroom is huge compared to either of these items, right? So for that, we would probably use yards or meters, just because it's a bigger unit, so it makes sense to use a bigger unit for a bigger area, right? So that is your vocabulary page. If you have any questions on these units, please, please, please ask. If not, we're almost there, boys and girls. We have one more page, okay? So we're gonna do one problem about length, and then you will be good, because obviously, as always, it's just a reading on the back. So let's get through this problem, and then it'll be time for your independent page, okay? So Cindy buys a party sandwich that is 5 feet long. Her brother cuts off a piece of a sandwich that is 3/4 of a foot long. Cindy cuts the remaining sandwich into 3-inch pieces to share with guests. How many 3-inch pieces does she make? Okay? So we're gonna make this into an equation, and then we will look at the picture on the back, okay? And then we'll be good for our video. I know this one's longer. You guys are pushing through and rocking it, and then you'll work on your independent page, okay? So we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, right? So that means a 5-foot long sandwich is equal to 5 times 12 inches, which would give us 60 inches. So we just multiply our 5 times our 12 inches to convert it into inches. So that means our sandwich is 60 inches long. 3/4 of a foot is 9/12 of a foot. 9/12 is equal to 9 inches, right? Because 9 out of 12 inches, 9 inches. So 60, which is what we're starting with, minus 9 inches of what the brother cut off is equal to 51 inches. So this is how much she has left over after the brother gets a hold of it. So now we have to figure out how she cuts the remaining pieces into 3-inch pieces and how many she will get from there. So if we're cutting this 51 into 3-inch pieces, we're just going to divide 51 by 3, okay? So 3 times what will get me close to 5. 3 times 1 is the only thing, right, that I could do, so minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Bring down our friend the 1. 3 times what gets me close to 21? That's easy. 3 times 7 gives me exactly 21. So subtract out of 21. We're left with 0. So how many pieces can she make with this 51 inches left of sandwich? She can make 17 pieces, okay? So our sentence is Cindy makes 17 3-inch pieces. Now, I think this will make more sense to everybody once we just look at the picture on the back. So once you have this, we're just going to flip super quick, and then the rest of the time will be spent on your independent page, okay? So if you need a pause here to write, go for it. If not, we're just going to quickly look at our model. So the sandwich started with 5 feet, which we also converted into 60 inches, right? We know that he cuts off 3/4 of a foot, which we know is 9 inches. So that means this leftover here has to be 60 minus 9, which we got as 51. And then she's going to cut this 51 into 3-inch slivers, okay? And the same idea here, just using a more detailed number line. This is the part the brother took, and then this is the remainder. So if we do groups of 3 inches, right, we would have 17 little pieces in between, okay? So friends, I know these videos have been longer. You guys have been rocking it. So just know that you have to do page 608 on your own and show me, and then you will be good to go, okay? I'm here if you need me. I know this gets overwhelming, so please don't let it overwhelm you. I am here to help. I'll see you guys soon.